Okay, perfect. So thank you, everyone. And I want to start by taking you all back in time. Back to the time before data science. Surprisingly, we only have to go about 6 years into the past to be in a world where data science hardly even existed. We still had people who did analytics, we still had people who work on data, but we didn't have data scientists. So how did we get from having no data science to where we are today? So if we look at some of the things that have changed, the first thing that we looked at is data. And in data, we moved from having sets of 80 million accounts to having almost 200 million accounts. In PayPal, the number of transactions have doubled and doubled again. Looking at technology, the technology itself has evolved and changed. We moved from using queries on databases in SQL to Hive, and now using Spark. On the modeling side, only a few years ago, we used to have logistic regression. Now we're using neural networks and diving into deep learning for the first time in the fraud domain. Okay, I lost my screen here, sorry. On the product area, the expansion of products that PayPal is dealing with has grown significantly. If we only did person-to-person payment and online transactions in the past, we now have to deal with credit, we have to deal with mobile, and we have to deal with remittance. On the response time, on the speed in which we need to react, only a few years ago, it took us close to 3 months to release a new model to the front-end system. Today, we're doing the same task in less than a week. But not only that our response time in deploying new solutions need to move faster, we hear that from everywhere, but actually the technology that we've been using has evolved. If in the past we had some limited online capabilities and some offline capabilities, we migrated into a hybrid solution that has online and offline working in conjunction. And now we're delving into using Spark streaming and similar technologies in order to provide real-time and near real-time solutions. On the type of insights that we develop, we also grew in complexity. If in the past we had type of aggregations and simple roll-ups, and we typically only looked at individual transactions, we're now looking at greater and greater data sets in order to get the insights that we need. We're looking at multiple accounts. We're looking at multiple events at the same time. And we're using more complex analysis through graph algorithms and other comparisons. So the world of data science have evolved. And it became this huge jungle of technology, of data, different data types, different problems. And the question remains, what about the data scientist? So what we've found and what is interesting is that this is a question that many people ask. You can see how many questions and how many results we get on Google on that question. And in my years at PayPal, I found that while the environment has been evolving, while technologies has been changing, while we're dealing with different type of problems, there are a few things that still remain the same. So the first thing that remains the same about our data scientist is its character, its curiosity, and it's the love of data and love of understanding everything about data, but not only limiting to data, also trying to understand the business and the context that this data relates to. Next, it's about seeing the world through the numbers. We're not dealing with numbers. We're not dealing with integers and floats. Every piece of data has a meaning. And what makes the analysis valuable, what makes the work hold over time, is the fact that we don't treat an IP address as an integer, a number of transactions, and then maybe we can add or divide them one by the other. Is that we understand that there are things like an origin and an end, and there's a distance between them, and there's a shipping method, and that all relates to a story that we can put together. And these stories, when put together, these are the ones that give us the level of insights that we need in order to get great results. The next feature that we have, really, it's just a can-do approach. The reason is because data is dirty. The data is very dirty. There's error, there's problems. You cannot get access. Systems are complex, and unless you have this can-do approach, you will not be able to get things done. And then you need to be agile. We've seen how technology changes. We need to keep learning new technologies. It's not about which algorithm you know or not. It's not about whether you know Java or whether you know Spark. We invest in training the people, and what is important is the ability of people to learn new skills over time. And then, maybe last but not least, we have just the willingness and the desire to solve riddles, to solve problems, and to dig into data. But this is not enough, because no one works alone. And in the world of data, in the world of PayPal, complexity arises all the time. No one knows everything there is to know about data. No one knows everything to know about the system. And only through teamwork, you will be able to achieve your goals. So we talked about the past. And now you may ask, what does the future hold? Where would you go from now? So first of all, on the payment industry, we believe that they're going to be more social, more mobile, and Internet of Things is going to grow. We're going to see more ways for people to pay, more ways for people to interact in the world, and this is all going to generate more data for us to process and more types of data for us to process. On the data science front, we're seeing greater and greater need for data fusion, getting data from multiple different sources and finding the way to combine them together, to find how data of different sources, different formats need to be combined and merged together. There are many domains of knowledge that will come, and we have to bring the knowledge from all of these domains together and keep investing in more and more sophisticated machine learning. But what we did understand is that data science is a very generic skill. And that skill may be applied successfully to many, many domains. This is why we're also anticipating convergence of all data science problems and all data science skills and abilities. Within PayPal, actually, we just announced recently that the risk organization and the data science organization will become one, because we understood that what we're really interested in is being able to dig deep into the data and find insights. And it doesn't matter if these insights are about fraudsters, are about businesses, sellers, merchants, or marketing. So this convergence will continue in the business, and this convergence will also continue in data science. We believe that if before we had distinct analysts, data scientists, and engineers, we're getting to see more curious engineers who love algorithm and asking questions. We see data science becoming more technical, and we believe from having very distinct sets of groups that we will move into groups of continuous set of skills, all working together towards a goal. Thank you so much, and come and see us later.